Let's track the journey of a ham and cheese sandwich on whole wheat bread. We will watch it transform from a meal into the nutrients that fuel the human body. Digestion begins in the mouth. Mechanically, teeth masticate or chew, grinding and tearing the bread, ham, and cheese. The tongue rolls the food against the palate to form a soft, lubricated ball called a bolus. Chemically, the salivary glands release saliva. This fluid contains salivary amylase, an enzyme that instantly starts chopping up the complex carbohydrates from the whole wheat bread. Once swallowed, the bolus enters the esophagus. There is no new chemical digestion here. Instead, this is a mechanical transit corridor. Through a process called peristalsis, rhythmic wave-like muscle contractions squeeze the solid food downward, delivering it to the stomach. The bolus drops into the stomach. Mechanically, 3 layers of thick muscle mash the sandwich pieces, throwing them backward in a process called retropulsion until they become a soupy liquid called chyme. Chemically, the stomach floods the food with caustic hydrochloric acid. This acid uncoils the tightly folded proteins of the ham and cheese and activates an enzyme called pepsin, which splits the protein chains into their component amino acids. The stomach squirts the acidic chyme into the small intestine. Mechanically, the intestine uses segmentation, localized muscle rings that contract to slosh the liquid back and forth to mix it thoroughly. Chemical digestion is aided by accessory organs, the pancreas, gallbladder, and liver. The pancreas delivers bicarbonate to neutralize the stomach acid, alongside heavy-duty enzymes that finish breaking down the bread starches and ham proteins. Meanwhile, the gallbladder pumps in bile made by the liver. Bile emulsifies the dense cheese fats into tiny droplets so pancreatic lipase can dismantle them into fatty acids. The small intestine is lined with microscopic, finger-like projections called villi and microvilli, expanding the surface area to the size of a tennis court. Different nutrients are absorbed in different ways. Glucose from the bread and amino acids from the ham and cheese use active transport, requiring cellular energy to be pumped into the intestinal cells. Fatty acids from the cheese simply slip through the cell walls via simple diffusion. Once inside the intestinal walls, the nutrients take 2 distinct paths. Water-soluble nutrients, like the glucose and amino acids, enter the blood capillaries. They travel straight through the hepatic portal vein to the liver, which screens and distributes them for immediate energy and muscle repair. Fat-soluble nutrients, the fatty acids from the cheese, cannot mix with blood. Instead, they are packed into tiny droplets and enter the lacteals, traveling through the lymphatic system before emptying directly into the main bloodstream near the heart. Finally, whatever the small intestine cannot absorb is pushed into the large intestine. The primary leftover here is the tough, indigestible dietary fiber from the whole wheat bread. Mechanically, pouches in the colon contract to squeeze out excess water, drying out the waste. Chemically, resident gut bacteria ferment these remaining bread fibers, producing gases and short-chain fatty acids. Strong muscle waves eventually sweep the remaining dehydrated material into the rectum for elimination. The human digestive tract is a highly efficient refinery. Mechanical forces and chemical enzymes systematically break down the sandwich into its most basic organic compounds. Glucose is extracted for immediate energy, amino acids for tissue repair, and fatty acids for cellular health.